a beautiful day. Today I am deeply, deeply grateful for life, the universe, and everything. I could sit here all day and talk about everything I'm grateful for. From my hair going exactly the way I wanted it to after I got out of the shower, to the temperature being just right to wear this super soft and comfy purple pullover. I'm thankful for the peace in my heart, the warmth from the warm morning coffee that was made for me, the warmth in my heart from all the love that I get from everyone, and all the love that I get to express to everyone. There's so much I want to talk about, but I don't like the idea of running or rushing through anything. So, I want to touch on my reason for being. Why do I do this? What is Psionic Designs? Who are you, Josh? Great questions. I think I've been working on them all my life in some way or another, and I think I'll continue to do so for a long time. I don't believe that enlightenment is like a destination. It's not an address you can reach. It's not some state of being where you're perfect either. It's a state of alignment between your heart and your mind and what you really are, your true being. Some people call it a soul, some people call it your consciousness. I'm not going to get hung up on the words there. My purpose is people understanding how that works. That we're not at a subject to these conditions that we put on ourselves, these limits. The limitations we perceive were created by a definition that we chose or that we accepted from someone else. Someone offered us the idea and we thought, that works, I'll use that. But we don't have to. Like the idea of duality, it's a circuit of processing which is useful for discernment when determining value of something that can have a value. And in that regard, duality has purpose. But when you're speaking about dynamic systems and beings, duality fails, inevitably, under any close rational scrutiny. And if you look in your heart, you'll see that it doesn't feel right there either. And that leads into a really good example or thought practice you can try to see it for yourself. And that's the either or game. If you look at such a thing or phrase such a thing as it must be this or that, then you're playing the duality game. You're stuck in the duality trap. There's always a third option. And I'd guarantee you there's always far more than just three options. But archetypally speaking, you can break it down into there's always more than black and white. It's never been so simple, and it never will be. Not in this existence. It's too dynamic of a system. So when you find yourself encountering one of these either-or statements, ask the question, what if there's another option? What if there's another way to see it? The simple act of asking the question initiates an openness within your consciousness to different perspectives. And from there, you'll find one. It may not come immediately. You gotta look for it. But it's there. And the more you practice becoming open when you would be rigid in your perspective, you find more and more easily how much everything is more than just either or. How there are always many layers and shades of distinction to be discerned. Alright, I'm back. Many interruptions today, but it's okay. Everything works. So, with the many ways to interpret things, I mean, a great example of that would be like the picture I keep here on the wall. And I printed that out from a picture I saw on Facebook because I wanted to keep it as a daily visual reminder that there's always more than one perspective on anything. And I think that even how we feel falls in that category. I don't think anyone is ever motivated by one single emotion. I think that it's always a complex array of emotions. And the symphony created by all of that interplaying together is what expresses itself as our life expression and experience. The unexamined life, the unexamined self, is one of the greatest tragedies in the world today. Everyone is still wrapped up in this us versus them mentality when if we look within and follow that old African proverb, how does it go? If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. I like to add on that, and at that point, there can be no enemy outside you either. Because if they can't do you harm, they can't be your enemy. They might like to identify as that, but it doesn't make it true. All too often I see spiritual teachers telling people to manage who they're hanging out with, if they're hanging out with negative people, work on themselves first. And I think that there are definitely instances where that's helpful and it's important. But I also think that the reason that we have challenges and struggles is because we want reasons to grow. So if we create a life for ourselves in the pursuit of spiritual growth, where we insulate ourselves from those experiences in life which catalyze growth, we're kind of missing the point, right? You need those experiences. I think that I really, being raised by a missionary Baptist grandmother and a Southern Baptist grandmother and a strongly Christian family all the way around, there's a story that really got impressed to me, and that's the story of Jesus. Now, mind you, I had read it more than most people in my family combined by the time I was 10. But that's not really the point. The point is that here you have this enlightened being, this, divine being, who can, heal anyone or command the mountains to upend themselves, or whatever you want to, raise the dead. It's not focused on the specifics, but, you're looking at a level of raw divine power available. And not only power, but awareness, understanding, wisdom, knowledge. So with that, his thought is, I'm going to go hang out with the hookers and the diseased people and all the criminals and kind of the worst of society, and that they're really who I'm going to hang out with. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that we have other enlightened beings who seem to typically do the same thing? They go to those considered undesirable and they help them. I mean, isn't that what Buddha did? He was brought up in a Hindu world, and he was, royalty, so he was from the higher caste, and the first thing he does when he attains enlightenment is goes and starts telling all the undesirables, teaching them. Why? It's something I think about a lot. That what if they all understood the same thing? And that is that I am you. You are me. And so, no matter how enlightened they might seem to us, from where we're looking at them from our level of perception, they know they're not yet, because they can't be until everyone is. So they're just trying to get everyone else closer to where they're at so they can see where the next step is themselves. And I don't know whether it's true or not, but it feels right. And it feels good to me to think that way. And if I think that way, then I realize that if they thought that way, then they meant for us to think that way too. And that's why they were telling us that. And so, what if we just tried it? So, on this question of who are you, what if we stop using the old story of who you are? What if we try out some new ways to identify ourselves and see how they feel? How about the first thing you do every morning, before you do anything else, is say, I am happy. I am grateful. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful for the day ahead of me. I'm grateful for the opportunities presented to me by this day. I'm grateful for the abundance in my life and the abundance still flowing to me. I am grateful that everything is working out exactly how it needs to. I'm grateful that everything I need is flowing to me with speed. Because what I need right now is already here. And if it becomes that now, what I need then will be right there. Right here. I am grateful for all the love in my life. And I am grateful to know that I am love. Because I am you, and you are me. We are all so loved. Have a beautiful day.